Welcome, I'm the Deadwood Jedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today I have a very special treat. I've been doing a lot of, champion spotlight videos because we've been getting all these new champions. I have a bunch more that are going to be coming out once we get this new Shadowkin faction coming out. So, in the meantime, I wanted to give you guys this video that I've been kind of holding on to. I actually filmed this several weeks ago, and I just haven't found the right time to present it to you guys, but I figure if I don't do it now, I might not get to it. This is my personal clan boss team, the simplest one-key clan boss team you will ever see, guys. So simple, so good, because, and I say it's simple, not in the building of it, obviously it's complex to get to one key, but it's simple because every champion is going at a 1-1 ratio. There is no speed manipulation. There is no, super crazy fast speeds involved here. No turn meter boosts or speed buffs or any of that stuff. This is simple. This is a very simple speed tuned team. Only thing about the speeds is ordering who goes when and who's going to go on the very first turn before the clan boss attacks and who goes after it. That's really it, guys. It's incredibly, incredibly simple. And quite frankly, since I use this team primarily on Void, that's where I get the one key, I'm actually over-tuning it. I've tuned it so it's available and will stay in sync on Affinity as well, because I'm bringing in Valkyrie, obviously, and she'll mess stuff up. So it's actually over-tuned. That said, it is incredibly successful. I'm very, very happy with it. I'm very proud of it, honestly. And I think you guys are going to be impressed with it. Now, I do go over all the champions. You're going to see all the stats, all the stuff that all the gear that I've put on them. But I don't go as in depth as I do a lot of time. I'm going to save that for a Game On video, link down below in the comment and description of this video. So if you want to see all the masteries, the total stats of all the champions, really go in depth with them, I do cover that. Just click on that link down below in the comment and description of this video to see that. Also, guys, this is actually something I'm really happy about. I have a new agreement with Soundstripe. They're the music provider I use for all of my videos. So if you guys like the music that you're going to hear in this video, or you like the music you've heard in the videos in the past, there's a link down below, obviously in the comment description of this video as well, plus a discount code. Use Deadwood Jedi as your discount code. It'll give you 15% off any music that you buy, and I think you get 3 free songs to start as well. I think it's 15% off your account, and then 3 free songs to start. It is awesome, guys. I really like the music that they give us. I have a playlist. I'm not sure if it's available yet, but I will have that available at some point, links for that, so you guys can go find the exact music that you hear in these videos if you like it a lot. So I've been wanting to present that to you guys because I know so many of you actually really enjoy the music. So that's a thing that we are now doing. I'm really excited about that part, if you can't tell. But that said, this is a bit of a long video, so I try to keep some of the, try not to go into too much depth with the gear and stuff, but I do talk a lot about how I want to tune this, and I think it's important. We don't talk a lot about simple speed tunes, and that's what's going on here. I have to time out the stuns to make sure that certain champions are getting stuns on certain rounds. It's crucial. Timing out the skill usage in order to facilitate that. Making sure that we have, the right gear pieces, and so that certain champions have enough HP and aren't getting the stuns too early or lasting long enough. All these things I've done a lot of manipulation with, so I do talk about that. But right now, let's go ahead. We'll look at the champions. I'll go over those real quick, and then we'll get into the run. But thank you guys for stopping by, checking this out. I think you're really going to enjoy this. The first champion is going to be probably the most obvious. I'm running a 1-1 ratio team, traditional clan boss team. I need Valkyrie. One of my first champions, one of my favorite champions. She's amazing. We have a crazy amount of defense on her. She's going at 193 speed. I have her in stalwart gear like I have all of my champions. I've got Iron Brago in to give us that increased defense buff for the full fight. He's also got over 5,000, about 5,300 defense. He's going at 188 speed. And then we're going to bring on top of that Bad Alcazar. Bad Alcazar is going to be our cleanser. I actually have Bad Al going very fast, about 217 speed. This is great because it makes Bad Al useful in other areas of the game while still staying at a 1-1 ratio team based off the speeds of the other champions. About 4,200 defense thereabouts, 50,000 HP. Real tanky champion. Another champion that I'm going to be bringing in is going to be Rosin. Rosin's going to be one of our main damage dealers here. He's also got 4,300 defense, got 100%, with Bad L's. Bad L's going to be my leader. So with Bad L's aura, I'm going to have 100% crit rate, like all of my champions, just about. I think except for Valkyrie is the only one that doesn't. A lot of crit damage on him. It's going to be really good. I do have an immortal set on him, just like I have on Iron Brago, and that's to make sure that the stuns go to the right spot, that they get just a little bit of healing, which I need in order to guide the stun and prevent an early wipe of my run. And then the last champion I'm going to bring in is Vizier. Now, Vizier's key to making this work. Obviously, Bad L's my only poisoner, so I need Vizier in there to be able to extend all those debuffs and give ourselves a full debuff bar. Does mean I have a little bit of setup, but totally worth it to make this thing happen. Vizier also, you'll notice, will hit hard. I have him with over 4,000 attack. You can see right here, 4,500 attack, only 2,800 defense, and yet we're still a one-key team. This is not only the power of Valkyrie Shield, but this is also the power of the Stalwart gear, guys. It is huge. Masteries also play a major part in this. I have pretty much everybody in defensive masteries, except for Battle Khazar, because Battle Khazar is a lead, and I need to make sure Bad L has Stalwart as the mastery right here. This is going to prevent Bad L from being targeted with the stun. So the stun is going to go to Rosin, it's going to go to Vizier, and because of that, we're going to last a really long time, but the timing of it is crucial, guys. Absolutely crucial. I had to time literally everything about this, including when I'm using skills for Vizier, outside of just extending the debuffs, to make sure he gets a stun on the correct turns. As far as the setup of this goes, team order is crucial. I have Bad L as a lead, as I said, to give us that crit rate aura, so I can build everybody a little bit, doing a little bit more damage. The Stalwart mastery prevents him from getting the stun. Vizier is number 2 in the team order. This is also really important because I want Vizier to take the stun. But Vizier has a perfect veil as one of his skills. It's a 3-turn buff too. It's going to be up most of the fight. And it's only towards the end, once we get past about turn 40 or so, where we're going to start dying to the stun. Not the AoEs, but the stuns. And so I need Vizier to take that stun on turn 45. Rosin's tanky enough to take it all the way up to turn 42. He'll take the stun and he'll survive. Barely, hence the immortal gear, but he will survive. And so I need Vizier to take it on turn 45 and die earlier. The reason why is Vizier is doing raw damage, sure, but not as much as Rosin, first off. And secondly, Vizier's already extended all the buffs, so I can let Vizier die early. That's okay. But I need him to die, and then I need Rosin to die. And at that point, my last 3 champions are going to be my tankiest champions, Valkyrie, Brago, and Battle Khazar, so I continue to get more turns and continue to allow those debuff ticks to proc so that we can get over that 1 key threshold. So I had to break this down, guys, in order to make this work. I don't have great accuracy on all my champions. Brago and Rosin have about 200 accuracy, maybe a little bit more. So there are chances some of those debuffs won't land right away. That's okay. We're obviously easier to 1-key with everything landing right off the get-go. Same thing with Bad L's poisons. But if it doesn't, that's all right. We should still be able to hit that 1-key. But obviously, if I have a bad initial start, I do usually reset and just get it right. But this is a pretty impressive squad here. I'm real proud of it. So let's go ahead and go in. All right, there we go. Got the poisons up. Got the decreased defense and weaken. Boom, boom. Now we go ahead and get the counterattack, so we get that right off the bat, guys. Like I said, every little bit in this counts. It all really matters here. Getting those counterattacks, we extend those buffs, which is fantastic for us. And everything's moving smooth so far. For Vizier, basically, we are just going to use that A1, A1, A1 all the way through. Now, Brago, we're going to put up the increased defense buff. Now, remember, once we get in sync, Valkyrie's actually going to go last in the turn order. Even though Brago's a little bit behind, it's all a little bit mixed up right now. Bad L will eventually go first. Valkyrie will eventually go last. Brago puts up that increased defense buff. It's a 3-turn buff. That means it's not going to cover Valkyrie right before AoE 1. The one person it's not going to cover because he puts it up between the AoEs. Valkyrie goes after that, burns through one of the charges. So for Valkyrie, it's only 2 turns. For everybody else, it's 3. That makes a big difference as far as making sure everything lands for us and everything goes just perfectly. I have one of those weird ticks where I have to have everything right. That's why I didn't use Iron Brago's decreased attack. I'm going to wait till right before the AoEs like I would normally use it. But pretty much all the way through this, guys, it's A1 city, right? Now, this is the one spot Vizier did take that first stun. Doesn't have the veil up anymore. He takes that first stun. That's okay. From this point on, no one's going to take a stun, as Bad L is going to cleanse it like he does right there. Now we're going to put that decreased attack up. Now we're just going to continue to A1 with Rosin as much as possible so we get much damage out as we humanly can. There goes the shield and the counterattack from Valkyrie. We are now fully in sync. So when I'm lazy, when I'm facing Nightmare, when I'm facing Brutal, or if I, for some reason, had a bad run on Ultra Nightmare and I have to do a second one, I'll auto at this point. There's no need to go any further. But we're trying to get to that 1 key level. And you can see we're not getting all the extensions right now. That RNG with Vizier is a real thing. So I'm going to continue to do that A1 with Vizier all the way through. We're going to have to manual till about, I want to say about turn 11 or 12 here. It's a little bit longer than usual, but I just like to maximize, make sure I have all the RNG going down perfectly, and then it should work fine. If we don't drop a poison from Bad Alcazar, we can probably stop manually about turn 9 as well. A little bit earlier, but he doesn't always land the poison, so that's something we kind of have to pay attention to. All right, we are still extending those debuffs. That's great. If you get bad RNG and they drop off, it's always a pain in the butt, but we still usually hit that 1 key status without any issue. There goes the stun. Here goes the cleanse. Now I want you guys to pay attention here. Right before this AoE, everybody has increased defense up for 1 turn, right? They all had a 2 to start. Here goes Iron Brago. Everybody has 1 turn increased defense except for Valkyrie. It's going to fall off. She's going to be the only person without increased defense. Now I could have timed it so that falls off before the stun, but then Valkyrie would take the stun. Clan Boss would target her. I don't want that. Without the increased defense buff, that's not a good sign for Valkyrie. And I also need her not to die from the stun. I need her to last the longest so we can keep that shield up and everybody else can last a really long time. So that's kind of a big thing. Boy, we're just not getting those extensions right now with Vizier. We will eventually, but the RNG can always be a pain in the butt. But that said, her defense is already about 7,700. Plus, when you factor in Brago's passive ability that gives that extra 10% of his defense, she has over 8,000 defense for that shield. She's gonna be fine. So I'm not worried about that first AoE with her. That's why I timed it the way I did. And that might be elementary for you guys, but that was something I really had to consider. Where are we gonna put that increased defense buff? Where do we want that to happen? I didn't want her to go through the second AoE without it, but I figured the first AoE was the one we could lose it on. Now, here we're about to get the timing for everything, so this is going to be really important. So that's good, we got some extensions. Bad Alcazar is about to put up the last of those poisons right here. We got one more space we have. So we're about to put those up right now. You can see it goes. We have full debuff bar. Now, at this point, I'm going to continue manualing. I could use the A2 there with Rosin, would be fine. It's not much of a damage difference, but this is what's important. I'm going to use the Veil from Vizier right here. And by doing this, we are going to be in sync so that we are perfectly poised to get to that 1 key setup so that Vizier will take the stun on turn 45. That's crucial, guys, crucial. It's important that Rosin can sustain through 42 and that Vizier will take it on 45. If we do that, we're gonna be golden. But this is all of that timing stuff. So I want to manual just long enough to make sure that we're gonna extend all these poisons. So I usually manual all the way through turn 11, right? We're still gonna A1 here with Vizier all the way through this. Once we have good poisons up here, we're in good shape. Now we can start using Vizier's other skills, and you're gonna see Vizier's actually doing some pretty good damage for us, which I didn't even realize Vizier could do. Honestly, but we're doing about half as much as Rosin on the A1, so that's not great damage. This is why Rosin's so ridiculous. The amount of damage he does is just bonkers, guys. I mean, just bonkers. Look at this. 50, 65 per attack. That's a ridiculous amount of damage right here. This is going to be the last extend, and at this point, I can go ahead and click auto, and we're going to be fully in sync. We're going to go ahead. Here comes the stun. Goes to Rosin. Bad L cleanses. Perfect. There we go. Go ahead and use that A2 from Vizier. He's going to use his Veil ability next. And because we have enough poison built up, enough of those stacks built up, we are in good shape. We are perfectly in sync. Now just watch the damage. I mean, look at Rosin there. 70k on those hits. That's just ridiculous. We're doing almost 200,000 damage with that A1 alone. You saw Brago did about 200,000 there, putting up his shield. You can see Vizier's doing about 25k per hit. So we're getting about 60 to 75,000 damage per A1, not to mention the extra procs from his Giant Slayer ability, 30k on those, so almost 90,000 damage. Even Valkyrie's putting up 70k in attack. It's just impressive numbers, I think. 214 there. And then watch when Vizier does his A2 and A3 skills. Those surprised me. He's hitting for well over 100,000 on each of those hits. I mean, we build up his attack, almost 4,500 attack. He's got about 200% crit rate, or crit damage, I should say. But just ridiculous amounts. There you go, 68, 66k for each of those hits on that A2 ability. I mean, the guy can work. The guy can work. I wasn't expecting that. Now, normally I wouldn't build Vizier for damage, right? But it opens up the possibilities to use him actually as a damage dealer by building him high attack, building him high crit damage. You don't lose as much as I had previously thought you would. You're still not doing like crazy damage. I mean, if you compare him to Rosin, two champions fully kitted out to do damage, it's not even the same. You know, Rosin's doing almost twice as much damage as Vizier, but it's still way more than I had expected. So you can see this is how it works. We have Bad L healing everybody. So even though we're getting the shield, even though we are in stalwart gear for everybody, we're gonna last a really long time. The question is how long and how much damage are we gonna take in between? And the good part is Battle's giving us that healing. Making sure that we don't die a little bit early is why we have that immortal gear on Brago, immortal gear on Rosin, giving them just that amount of healing so that we get the stun targeting going to the right champions. That's really important. Something bad that could happen later on is one of our champions losing too much health off of a crit from one of those AoEs. Battle Khazar comes to mind, Valkyrie comes to mind specifically. If that happens, that can be problematic because all of a sudden then the stun targeting will switch to one of them. And if they die early, our run dies early. It's important that those two specifically, and Iron Brago as well, stay alive as long as possible. They all bring stuff to keep us alive. Valkyrie with the shield, Brago with the increased defense buff, and Battle Khazar with the healing. Without those three champions, this team won't survive. That's why it's really important that we get the stun targeting going to Vizier and going to Rosin throughout the fight. But we're already about 32, 33 million, and we're not even at turn 25 yet. This is going to be a one key team, assuming the stun goes correctly. So I'll let you guys finish watching this. I'll get myself off and we'll come back at the end. There you go. One key team. Did you guys see turn 42 when Rosin had like a sliver of health left? That's the margins I have on this squad. You saw how Vizier took the stun on 45 and wiped? That's exactly what we wanted. So those balances is what makes this work. And even with that, you notice Valkyrie died earlier than I said she would. Because, sometimes you just take too much damage. She got 2 crits in a row and it was like, dusted. So, there's a lot of balance here. A lot of different ways to kind of make this team work. If I could put her in an immortal set, that would be the dream, let me tell you. But those are kind of the little differences, right? Having everybody in stalwart gear is huge, but we don't really get to heal outside of Bad Alcazar. And it's a little bit problematic sometimes. So, trying to find the balance with all those things is very tricky. I think we're able to navigate most of it. I think 75 million was about the max I've had. But we hit, I think, almost turn 50. I think turn 49 is where we got to. Pretty good. Maybe it was turn 50. I didn't pay that close attention to it, but pretty well done. You see Bad Alcazar did almost 20 million damage just based off those poisons alone, pretty much. Vizier did 10.5. Rosin did almost as much as Bad Alcazar. He's so good. And then Iron Braga's doing 14.5. He can hit really hard too. This to me is just a really impressive team. Valkyrie pulling in 8. I just had a blast putting this team together, and I have a lot of fun running it. So as you can see, guys, we had to go into a lot of detail, a lot of fine-tuning of this comp to really get to that one key level, to really have it be consistent. I spent a lot of time right on the cusp of that in the 65, 68 million range before we finally got over that hump, and we're pretty consistently over the 71 million range. And that's where we're at right now. Even this run that didn't go perfectly, we still got to that one key level because we were able to survive as long as we did, and we got that crucial stun on Vizier at the right time. All of that super important. So you can see all the details that go into speed tuning. It doesn't necessarily mean going crazy fast or having a crazy speed champions involved. You can get that same kind of fine-tuning, same kind of result, even going a little bit slow. Now, this is super endgame, right? One key is super endgame. You're not going to be able to do this without stalwart gear. You're not going to be able to do this without Valkyrie, I don't think. Double ally protection will take you a really, really long ways. But without Valkyrie, it's just really not possible without some kind of massive shielding. Whether that's Valkyrie, whether that's Lodric maybe, Falconheart, or somebody else. And most people, it's going to be beneficial to go at a 2-1 ratio, to go with an unkillable team. Those are the easiest ways to get to a 1 key level. Which is why I'm so excited about this. Because I don't know of anybody that's been able to 1 key just going at a standard 1-1 speed ratio. I'm really excited about this, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this and found it helpful for you. Like I said, there's links down below in the comment description of this video, both for that game on, so if you want to see the details of these champions, as well as for Soundstripe, if you want to hear that music again, use that discount code DeadwoodJedi to save 15%. A pleasure as always, folks. Till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.